Hey guys, Supercurse Productions here, and today I'm gonna finally be doing my Flash Season 3 custom minifigure showcase video for you guys. And the figures I have here are Killer Frost, Vibe, Kid Flash, the Flash himself, Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, 2024 Flash, and I do have a sculpted Savitar figure here. So yeah guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright guys, so the first figure we have here is the main man himself, the Flash, and I'll give you guys a full 360 on him. And there is hair. Gotta remove that. But yeah guys, this is probably my fourth version of the Flash, I think it is, that I've done so far. And I finally cut the lightning bolts off of this one. I sculpted lightning bolts on the cowl as you see there. The black lines do connect around towards the back. And I used an official Flash minifigure head on this guy. I just painted it in dark red so it would match with the cowl. And I painted the, I redid his lightning bolt emblem. I redid everything on this figure. I painted like the gold lines here. I added some gunmetal gray dots there, just for like the design he has on his suit. And I did the same thing on the other side, which looks really good. And on his torso, I finally added like that, the cover that goes over the zipper. Because he has like some sort of cover that goes on there. And I finally added that. And his gold, the gold lightning bolts that you see there on the torso, they connect around, they go up, and I did paint like dark red at the top here. And then, as you can see, I guess the arm sort of rubbed it off on this side, but the gold does connect around, it goes onto the legs, and the gold actually, I did wrap it around the top, just so when he's in a running position, say like this, you can still see the gold and it doesn't stop anywhere, so it goes all the way around towards the back. And then I did paint the gold on his shoes, or his boots, and I painted black lines on the top. And I don't think I mentioned this, but his belt piece was sculpted, and I did paint the little lightning bolt things on his belt there, and they are on the back. But yeah guys, so that was Flash, and now we can move on to the next figure. Alright guys, so the next figure I have here is the 2024 Flash suit. And this figure, I did the same thing with the cowl. I used a Flash cowl, cut the lightning bolts off the sides, sculpted my own, and I painted these in gold. And this one, it doesn't have the gold rings. Instead, the whole thing is gold on the lightning bolts, and the black lines are painted onto the top. And as you can see, they do connect around towards the back. This one, I actually painted my own head for this because I did not have another one of those official Flash minifigure heads. This one, this head I think was like from a Rebel or something, from a Star Wars set. I just painted the bottom red, erased the mouth, redid my own, which looks much better when you have the mask on. And then you can see all the details I painted onto the torso and on the arms and the belt. I did sculpt the belt buckle in this one, as well as, I don't think I mentioned it on the other Flash, I did sculpt the belt buckle. And the gold lines on the legs do go around to the top, so if I need to bend his legs for running position. And I actually did add a few different shades of red, like as you can see the muscle padding up here, I guess you could call it. It's the same red as the cowl. On the boots, it's the same red as the cowl as well, and some of the red here on the back. And also for his boots, I did make the I did paint the gold and everything all the way around the inside. But yeah guys, so that was the 2024 Flash, and then this was actually a commission for someone, for a friend, but I just decided to have this figure in my showcase anyway, and I just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, so we'll move on to the next figure. Alright guys, so the next figure I have here is Kid Flash, and I have shown this figure once before, and my background is falling on me. I have shown this figure once before, but I did update him not much has been updated except I actually glued the wings on the side to his mask, unlike before where they were stuck by some pieces of clay. And I did the same for the other side. I redid his lightning bolt emblem. I added these black lines here on the torso and on his chest, I guess you could call it, and I added these red lines up here. And I added like red lightning bolts and knee pads to his legs. So there's not much to say since you guys have seen this figure before. I only added a few things to it. Alright guys, so here we have Jesse Quick, and this figure I totally redid from the last version of Jesse Quick that you guys have seen that I showed. It was like, I think one of the first videos on this channel was Flash, Jesse Quick, and Vibe. But I have since updated them a lot, as you can see here. The head is still the same. It's the Wonder Woman head with the painted mask. I probably should have redid the mask, but I just left it the same way. Hairpiece still the same. I redid the entire torso, and if I remove the head, you can see the black lines that go on the shoulders do connect to the back. And I'll put the head back on. And as you can see, I did redo the arms and everything. The black does go to the inside of the arms on both sides. I redid the gold like on the shoulders and around the arm, and I also sculpted the belt piece on Jesse Quick. And as you can see, these gold lines, I would have liked them to connect around the side of the torso, which is something I forgot to mention on my Flash figure, was that the gold lines do connect around to the back. And the same with my 2024 Flash. You can see the lines do connect to the back. But this one, I did not connect the gold lines to the back. They're kind of at an uneven angle. Like this one comes lower, and this one goes up a little higher. But that's okay. And the lightning bolt emblem, as you can see, it looks much better than the previous version. And I made her legs a lot more accurate than they were the first time. And the black... Oops, I knocked her over. The black pattern there, the lightning bolt pattern, does go up to the top of the legs, and it connects around the bottom. But yeah guys, so that was Jesse Quick. Alright guys, so next up here we have Garrick, the Flash from Earth 3. And this guy was really fun to make. He was actually really easy as well to do. But I'll give you guys a full 360 like I usually do for each figure. Now his hat, his metal hat, I actually sculpted this hat, and it can be removed from the hairpiece. I'll give you guys a closer look at that. The wings were sculpted to the sides. The whole thing, as you can see, the inside was sculpted. I painted it in a silver color. I had actually used a hard hat piece for the mold, but I heavily sanded it so it was smooth. And that was what I was going to use as his hat, because I originally did try to make it go onto the hairpiece like I wanted the first time I was going to do this figure. But that did not work that well, so I put it onto the hard hat piece, and I actually used an X-Acto knife, I tried to pry it off of the hard hat piece that was heavily sanded. But I pried it off, as you can see. There's the inside. And you can also see like some of the cut marks from the X-Acto knife. That's what those white lines in there are. But it didn't go. None of those lines went through the actual hat. And it can sit on his head, or you can take it off. And I didn't have to cut a hairpiece or anything to ruin any hairpieces. But as you can see, this head was fully painted by me. I think I got a really good likeness to John Wesley Shipp, the actor who plays Garrick in the show. And on his torso, as you can see, I did add some like different red highlights. Like there's a light, bright red highlight up here for his chest area. I added dark red highlights around there. I didn't know if I should add them to the arms or the back, but so I just kept it to the front of the torso. But it looks really nice with those red highlights. And as you can see, the gold lines on his arms, they connect up to the torso. And I sculpted his belt piece, and I painted these little lightning bolts here on his belt. I painted the belt red, actually, and then outlined it with gold afterwards. And on the sides of the torso, you can see that blue that I painted. I actually continued it all the way around to the back, and the gold lines connect up, as you can see there. And then his legs were actually, as you can sort of see, they used to be these light blue legs. You can sort of see through there. I painted the dark red boots. I painted a black line on the side, and to make like those wrinkles or whatever he had, those lines that he has on his boots, I painted them in a light red, because I don't like to outline things in black. It just looks weird. It looks better if you outline them in a lighter color. So that's what I did. And then I did paint like that dark blue area he has on his pants. And I'll stick his hat on. But yeah, that was Garrick. And this hat actually doesn't come off. It sits on the head nicely. And surprisingly, it won't fall off. Alright guys, so here is Cisco Ramon, also known as Vibe. And this guy was kind of hard to make because of that diamond pattern that he has on his vest and everything. Or his jacket, I guess you could call it. But my favorite part of this figure is actually the face. Like those goggles that I painted there, they turned out looking really, really nice. I painted those from scratch. I painted the mouth from scratch as well. This whole figure was fully painted by me, as you can consider that, because everything here, nothing is Legos like some of my other figures. Nothing on here is Legos except for, I guess you could say, the hairpiece, but everything else is custom painted by me. I couldn't find a better hairpiece choice, so that's why I went with this hairpiece that I use. I don't know what it's called, but it actually looks okay. I would have continued the red on his jacket vest thing to go all the way around, but the arms would have ended up scratching it off since it wouldn't have been thin enough. Like this, I'm surprised it hasn't scratched off, so I don't know. I may update some of these figures, and I may paint like the red lines on the sides. Well, not red lines, but the red bottom of his vest. But for now, it looks fine without it. But for the torso, like I mentioned earlier, you can see all the diamond pattern that I painted. It doesn't look that bad. And he also has the same thing on the back. And then you can see the gold and yellow arm or shoulder pads that I painted there. Those go on both sides. And here on the front of his jacket, I painted it's supposed to be like a similar pattern to what's on his shoulders or his arms. I painted that there, but in a dark gray color. And I tried to make like these little black lines through there, which close up they don't look that good, but from far away they're okay. And I did paint his like pockets there with the zippers on both sides, and I painted his zipper in the middle of his jacket. And then he has the red lines that connect down his legs. I added some like these gray lines. I don't know if they're folds or something he had on his pants. And then his shoes were just red shoes with a few different like lines and stuff that I painted on them. And I forgot to mention his gauntlets. I actually wrapped electrical tape around the arm. As you can see, it does. That's where it holds together. And then I painted on the hand, and I painted the arm gauntlet thing on his wrists, I guess you could call it. Yeah, guys, that was Cisco Ramon Vibe. Next up here, we have Caitlin Snow, also known as Killer Frost. Now, this figure wasn't that hard to make, even though it looks like it might have been. And something actually that's pretty cool about this figure, well, not this version, my older version, when I made her jacket thing out of electrical tape here. I posted a picture on Instagram, and Danielle Panabaker, she actually liked the photo that I posted because I tagged her. So that was really cool. She didn't, I don't know if she saw the this version, because I then updated it afterwards, and I used fabric to make her jacket, because it made it much thinner, and it looks way nicer than this paper electrical tape thing that I did here with all these folds. And yeah, it looked pretty bad. And the star on this newer one actually looks much better. This one was like too short, stubby, and weird in certain places. But yeah, so I could finally trash that. But her hairpiece, it used to be a white, if I can remove it, and I did have to cut out that piece of the jacket at the front there, and the hair did rub off the skin that I painted, but I used a brown hairpiece, painted it white, and as you can see all the detail that goes around. I don't know what head this was, but I know I painted the eyebrows black, I painted the eyes in like a silver color, I painted the lips in a shiny blue, I added the black pupils, and I used like a gunmetal gray for that pattern on her jacket that goes onto her arms and everything, and I sculpted her little star there, and I painted the silver lines that go around to the side, and I did paint the skin on her legs for like where her skirt or whatever sort of separates. But yeah guys, there's not much to say about this figure, and now we can finally move on to Savitar. Alright guys, so here's the figure you've all probably been waiting to see. Now, I know this probably isn't my greatest sculpt, and yes, as you can see here, I had no idea what the back looked like, so I didn't paint anything on the back. And that's why the legs are probably inaccurate. Like, a lot of the photos were dark and everything, so I got whatever I could and pieced that together, cut little lines into the legs and everything. I painted like in shiny blue, like the lights on his armor. And yeah, well, this figure was fully sculpted. This chest piece was actually my first attempt at a sculpt, which it turned out really nice. And yeah, so the head, I guess we could start off with that. It used to be, as you can see, the gunmetal color under there. I don't know how well you can see that. But this used to be an Ultron Sentry head that I sculpted everything on, painted the blue eyes. I made like those weird little things he has on the back of his head. I sculpted the, like I said, the chest piece. I sculpted the lightning bolts. I sculpted the shoulders. And the sculpt does not go around the inside of the arms. I did paint it, but it's kind of rubbing off when it rubs on the torso. I sculpted on the arms, like his shoulders and everything. All the different little plates that I could see from certain photos. I sculpted as like sort of belt piece that he has. I sculpted, I guess you could call it a six-pack or whatever, like the muscle pieces on the armor, sculpted like the sides. This whole thing is sculpted, and the legs, I heavily sanded them. I sculpted over the top. These legs were actually heavily modified. They were sculpted, sanded, extended. I actually used studs to extend them, and I chopped off the feet, as you can see there, and sculpted it on. I didn't glue it. I actually used the sculpt, and it held the feet back on. And the legs can bend, so if I want to put him in a running position, I can. But as you can see, the legs, he can sort of sit with them. Not really, which there would be no reason for Savitar to sit anyway. Just for him to run. So he can go into a running position if I wanted him to. And, yeah, I just knocked something over, but, yeah, guys, so that was Savitar. Not much else to say about him. I'm actually pretty happy with the way he turned out. He's not that bad. He's pretty decent. The head, like, there's some things I realize I could have improved on this figure, but for now, it's okay for now. I think, honestly. But, yeah, guys, so that was Savitar. And now we can go ahead and end this video. Alright guys, so that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed these figures as much as I enjoyed making them. And now I guess we can talk about some other figures that I'm working on. And I am going to be doing a video soon on the figures that I made as a commission. Like each time I do some commissions, I'm going to do videos on them. And if you guys haven't yet, go check out my Instagram. The link will be down below, and I am selling CW and Defenders customs, so if you guys want one, private message me on YouTube, or DM me on Instagram, or write in this video, and we can talk about a way to private message each other, whether it's through email or whatever. But I am selling figures, prices vary, and it is US only, so if you guys want to buy some figures, just let me know. And, yeah, so, now I recently just finished watching Defenders. I finished it in like 5 days, I think. Well, I finished it like 2 days ago. Oops. Sorry about that, I hit a bag. I finished watching it 2 days ago. It took me 5 days to watch. I do want to watch it over again, just because it was really good, and in case I might have missed anything. But because of Defenders, it was really good. Like I said, I decided to redo my Daredevil figure, as you can see here. And this figure, I posted it on Instagram, and this thing got over 600 likes, which is really cool, to be honest, because none of my posts they usually don't get more than maybe 60 or 120. So it was really cool that he got over 600, and I'll just leave him right here in the front. And then another figure that I did was Jessica Jones, because I had the parts to do her. So I was like, you know what? Why not just make her for now? So, get started early on these guys, because I don't want to have the video take forever to do, like my Flash Season 3, where Flash Season 3 came out 5 months ago, I think it was, and I'm doing the video now, but I mean, at least I got the video out now. But, yeah, so I've done Jessica Jones and Daredevil. They're the first two that I've completed. Both have been I've posted pictures of both on Instagram. Jessica Jones, sadly, didn't get that many likes. Only like 92 or something like that. But, hopefully the video, because of Daredevil, will get a whole bunch of likes and views and everything. But, yeah, guys, so that's about it for this video. I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more customs and other videos that I plan to do. Like, I plan to finish soon Avengers Episode 2. I'm going to get started on that. The Batman series is going to take a while, because I don't know where I want to go with that story, but I have a few ideas for Avengers Episode 2 and how I want the rest of the series to go. So those videos shouldn't be that hard. And, yes, like I said, I hope you guys like this video, and be sure to give it a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe or share any of my videos if you guys really enjoyed them. And my next video should probably be on the commissions that I made, and then after that it should definitely be on my Defenders figs. I do have to order the parts for those first, but I'm going to try to get that video out as quick as possible as soon as I order the parts to finish the figures, because they are not that hard to do. I do want to update Jessica Jones' scarf, like add more wrinkles and stuff. But yeah, I don't want this video taking longer than it already has, so I'm going to end it here, and bye.